You create a Telegram group. You post content. You wait. You hope people join. But nothing really happens. Maybe a few people join here and there, but growth is slow, unpredictable, and honestly, frustrating. At some point, you start asking yourself, why is this not growing? You see other groups gaining members. You see channels growing fast, and it makes you wonder, what are they doing differently? Here's the truth most people don't realize. Telegram is not built for discovery. It doesn't push your content to new users. It doesn't help you grow automatically. If you don't bring people in, they won't come. And that changes everything, because now growth is not passive, it's active. You need to find users, reach them, and bring them into your system. But here's the problem. Doing that manually is almost impossible. Think about it. How do you find people in your niche? How do you collect their usernames? How do you organize them? How do you invite them one by one? You can try, but it doesn't scale. And this is exactly where most people get stuck. They rely on posting instead of building a system. Now imagine something different. Imagine if you could access thousands of users who are already active in your niche, people who are already in similar groups, people who already care about your topic. And instead of waiting for them, you go to them. That's what TexAPI allows you to do. TexAPI is not just a tool, it's a growth system. It connects directly with Telegram's official API and gives you access to data that most users never see. You can extract members from groups, not randomly, but strategically. You choose a group in your niche, and the system collects its members. Now think about what that means. You're no longer guessing your audience. You're working with real users, active users, targeted users. And that changes everything. Because when you bring the right people into your group, engagement increases, retention improves, growth becomes real. Now let's go one step further. Getting users is one thing, but reaching them is another. TexAPI allows you to invite those users to your group systematically, not randomly, not manually, but through a structured process. And this is where growth becomes predictable. Instead of waiting for people to join, you actively build your audience. Now, there's something important to understand. Not all users are equal. If you bring random people into your group, they won't stay, they won't engage, they won't care. But when you bring users from relevant groups, they already have interest. They already understand the topic. And that's why targeting matters. TexAPI gives you that advantage. Now let's talk about scale. Telegram has limits. You can only invite a certain number of users per account. If you rely on one account, your growth will always be slow. TexAPI solves this by allowing multiple accounts. So instead of hitting limits quickly, you distribute actions. This makes your system stronger, more stable, more scalable. Now here's something most people overlook: data. When you extract users, you're not just collecting names, you're building a database. A resource you can use again and again, for outreach, for campaigns, for growth. And once you have data, your strategy becomes smarter. Now let's be real about something. This kind of system is powerful, but it comes with responsibility. Telegram monitors behavior. If you act too aggressively, you can face restrictions. That's why smart usage is important. Start small, increase gradually, use delays, keep actions natural. TexAPI gives you control, but how you use it determines your results. Now think about your current situation. If your Telegram growth feels slow, if your group is not gaining members, if you're relying only on posting, then your system is incomplete. Because posting alone is not enough. You need acquisition. You need a way to bring users in. And that's exactly what TexAPI is built for. It doesn't promise instant results. It doesn't rely on luck. It gives you structure, a way to find users, a way to reach them, a way to grow consistently. And once you have that system in place, everything changes. Growth becomes predictable, your audience becomes targeted, your results become scalable. Because in the end, it's not about waiting for growth, it's about building it. And TexAPI gives you the tools to do exactly that.